Hello and welcome everyone to the broadcast for this week's Assetto Corsa Competizione race. Here in 2S, it is the 10th season, it is the third round, and we have got 17 drivers and 2 commentators and 0 healthy commentators. So this is gonna be fun. We've got myself, Timo with COVID in the booth, and we've got George, who I hear is not 100% healthy either. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, good evening everyone, and welcome to probably the illest commentary booth you will see for a little while. Either way, I am excited to be here, so I hope you are too, Timo.
Veldman is, Veldman just killed my vibe by completely misinterpreting how the track works and going fully into the wall. Go on.
Well, I guess already got our first bit of action here at Kyalami. Not the easiest of track. I saw that was at the infamous death curb, I believe, at the end of the lap. But yeah, good to be back. I think this is usually a track that produces a good race. Nice big straight, lots of technical corners to give you some opportunity as well. Yeah, I think it should be a fun race as per usual.
Yeah, and 2 things to recap right off the start here. 2 things we don't like talking about, but of course they are a reality of racing. Is the FIA has made some verdicts. So from Brands Hatch, everyone remembers that, I guess, where Bailey overtook Tommy Azelin from outside of the track limits. That penalty stands. Bailey's appeal did not get accepted, and then the other race win that was also to be decided in the stewarding room was decided in the stewarding room. So Lewis Zelch did get a 5-second time penalty for his push to pass overtake on Sam Chumley on the last lap for the lead, which sucks, but it promotes. It sucks that it had to be decided that way, but it gives Sam the race win, and I guess that is fair because the FIA has decided to be harsh in that first race, and they follow up on that in the second one. So there is some consistency there, and that is good to see.
Yeah, no matter what your opinion is, it is the consistency that matters, and of course setting a high standard for the rest of the season is what's important. And I guess the main takeaway from this, of course, it sucks for both Selch and Thompson. However, that's just the way it goes. Yeah, I'm sure both will be looking to fight back today. I don't believe Bailey is actually on the grid, but Zelch currently P3 and half a second off the top times and only a tenth and a bit ahead of Sam, so might see some more fireworks there if it stays this way.
Yeah. Fast forward racing duo at the top of the timing tables, and Erligner comes across, does not manage to beat his own time by about a tenth of a second, so Veldman's time stands for the moment.
Yeah, very close at the top of the standings there, just 300ths of a second separating Veldman and Erligner. Of course, that Audi is definitely a strong car here, especially the Evo 2, which both have opted to take. I believe it got hit with some BOP changes in a recent update, so it's not quite as OP as it used to be. However, that said, I would definitely say it's a favourable car here. And interestingly, the Mercedes not so much. So Zelch in P3 I think is doing a good job right now to be only two and a bit tenths off the pace.
Yep. And in the championship, I know it's terribly early to talk about it, but then again, it's also race 3 of 8 already, so that is, after this we'll be well into the season, is fair to say, I think. So I keep on harping on about how consistency is what you need to have if you want to be able to win the title, but the two guys at the top of our standings, Sam Chumley and Nico Veldman, both won a race each, and then Sam finished 6th in Brands Hatch and Veld finished 7th at the Nürburgring, so I can't see any consistency there. It was enough for the top spot though, and then we have Tommy Azelin, who unfortunately is not here tonight, which is a real bummer. He is in 3rd, within 4 points of the championship lead, then a bit of a gap to Thompson, who isn't there either. And then we've got Erligner and Zelch looking to make up for the fact that he only joined the championship with the second race.
Yeah, just 4 points separating the top 3 drivers coming into this race. Of course, Azelin not here, and Bailey, who is just, I think, 11 points back off that fight, of course not here either, so this is a good chance for Sam and Nico to extend their gaps. Elsewhere though, Bance Rene, he is of course P5 right now, leading silver class. DNF'd last round, I think.
No, he makes it a point to not DNF.
No, P13.
But he got absolutely, he did get absolutely annihilated in turn 1 by,
yeah.
I think Belasco, who completely missed his braking or something like that. But he made it a point to continue, and I respect that. It's good.
Yeah, and he's looking strong right now, P5, for a silver driver especially. That is very good, just 6 tenths off of Veldman's lap time, which I think he just improved, not by much, but extending his lead no matter what. And yeah, of course he's currently I think 4th in the silver standings, and I don't think anyone, actually no, Lawes is here, but the rest of his silver rivals are not present, so that is a good chance for him as well. So yeah, I think you talk about consistency, but I guess consistency with showing up is also an important factor in this.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, everyone is out there celebrating the very important international holiday, Tag der Deutschen Einheit. Just everyone. That's the reason. Can't be anything else.
Yeah, I'll pretend I know exactly what that means, and I'm celebrating that as well.
It's fine. I'm gonna Google something before I embarrass myself. No, it's the Berlin Wall fell today a few years ago. So obviously everyone across Europe is celebrating exactly that. That's why they can't drive. That's why Welsh Toast is in chat, because he's getting mad drunk on a party for this holiday, which definitely people celebrate. Yes, absolutely.
Well, meanwhile, these are of course the final laps.
Sorry.
Yes, we've just had Veldman throw it in the wall, and Ilgner, Selch, and Rene are all in the pits, so no improvements coming for them. However, Sam currently P4, not sure what his delta is, but he is still on a lap time.
It's about a tenth or two, so I don't think he can do anything. Doubt he will be able to get up to Zelch. Now this lap doesn't look like it, is it? So second row it's gonna be. But that is fine. I mean, that is well within reach. And yeah, I'm gonna blame all of the unprofessionalism today on COVID, because COVID made me talk about this holiday. Yeah, that wasn't my brain going, you know, left field. It's fine. Okay, we have a grid walk to do. Excuse me. So let's see who we have. It is a all fast forward front row with the Dutch reigning champion Nico Veldman beating Dominic Illigner, who has been pretty strong in the races lately, but in qualifying was lacking a little bit now in the front row. That's nice to see. Then we've got Louis Selch from Shazoo. He is in P3 ahead of Sam Chumley. Those two clashed for the race win last week. Then it is René Bon leading silver class in P5 ahead of Alexander Diakowski, who has now got a Jim Beam livery, and I don't know enough about Jim Beam to understand why this car is green, but I'm very scared. Then we've got the Angry Chicken in P7. Vito, how will he ruin his race this week? I forgot how to say this guy's name. Wojak? Something like that. It's fine, he didn't complain. P9, the second Mango Loco Kites, Chris Strecker, ahead of a disappointing qualifying actually for Van den Hudding in P10. I expected him a little bit further up the order. Then it is Jack Mills, second in class and 11th overall in P11. I'm an idiot, that's fine. Ahead of Krüger in 12th, then Ben Loos, Aiden Bailey with the Yorkshire Tea car. Amazing. I am Thatcher's what cider is supposed to taste. Is that a real thing? Is Thatcher's an actual cider? Oh god. This car's disgusting. I'm sorry. So, P14, P15, Renault, P16, the Weep car, and P17, Jurien Wissem. That is a nice livery he's got there.
Yeah, some very good liveries actually up and down this field. I think Mills has got quite a nice one in the very German BMW, which I'm sure you will appreciate.
That is not German. I distance myself.
Oh no.
It is Belgian.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, I've been insulted for getting that one wrong as well.
Yeah, you didn't hear anything there. Ignore that. That would make a bit more sense why there is Spa on top of his car. Anyway, moving on.
Do you know anything about Thatcher's cider? Is that a thing?
I don't. I do not know what that is. Although I can see some Ryanair stickers and some McDonald's logos, so that is, of course, adding some livery points to that one. Of course, you know, can't go wrong.
That needs some livery points added, because my god, I hate it. In the best way. Well, in the best way possible. You know, it's just my normal hatred for every nation that isn't my own. And actually also for my own. Huh?
I mean, it's an artistic masterpiece, so, you know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, well,
I don't know.
look into the front, I guess. The big stories. They are two very good liveries, to be honest. The
I mean,
fast forward racing boys out in force.
Yeah, it doesn't actually look bad, the Britain livery. I'm just taking the piss. It's just aggressively British.
Yeah, I think you. Yeah, a little bit in your face, but anyway. Yeah, so
with Antoine not here, you know, my national hostilities are directed towards the British instead of the French. It's,
of course.
Yeah, it happens. I'm sorry to you as well, but can't help it.
Sure, I can forgive you after that Belgian error on my behalf.
I'm going for more water because I'm dying right now.
Okay, well, whilst Timo does that, we are of course on formation lap. Nico Veldman will be leading Dominic Illigner into turn one, or well, he will attempt to anyway. Those two, of course, are leading the constructors right now, with a 33-point gap to the Trigon duo of Van den Hudding and Sam. Yeah, of course, that's going to be another interesting. As you can hear, Timo dying in the background. Yeah, that will of course be an interesting fight. Sam, I would assume, is going to have better race pace in that BMW. I'm not quite sure if that is correct, but I believe so. Impressive qualifying from Zelch to get that Mercedes P3. That's not the easiest of feats, for sure. And look out for Rene in P5. That Audi, of course, renowned for being fast off the line. And yeah, he's had a strong qualifying. P5 overall, silver class leader. Not too bad. Yeah, speaking of silver, and Mills, Kruger, Lors, Bailey, Renault, and Moulton all together on track. So the silver class 5 should be the spicy one as well. Welcome back, team.
Hello. I think I would take the start unless you wanna do it.
I do not know what you're looking at on stream, so I would probably say you go for it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, but yeah, of course, I'm just gonna say that again. I'm a little bit ill, so I'm not gonna be very energetic and everything today, so yeah, I'm sorry for that. Can't really do anything about it. Should be good next week though. I'm well on the way to recovery. It's been a week already. So, rounding the final corner, we have the two fast forward racing cars, and the one on the inside should be Veltman, and the question is, what can Eligna do? As we wait for the line. Do we ever go green? We go green at Kyalami. I feel like this catches me out every single time, and it looks like a pretty even start across the board at the front. Zelch squeezing Sam a little bit, breaks pretty early though, lunges to the inside alongside Illign. Actually, that was a brilliant move from him. He has his nose ahead. Now the next one is a slight right-hand kink, and Zelch just takes the position off of Illign. I did not see that coming at all. Illign probably not either. Diakovsky with a wide send in the Jim Bean car in the background, running door-to-door with Dvorak and Bohn, and Czerwinski has lost some positions, but he hasn't crashed yet, and that is, I feel like, a new high for the season. Oh no, he's been tagged by Ruben, but he's still alive. That could have been epic commentator skills, but he's fine.
Yeah, the racing clean start actually across the board as I can see Diakovsky going side by side with the Mercedes through the S's. Let's see how that one pans out going into the hairpin. I think the BMW was Vito giving them both a little tap.
Oh, and Vito's been punted around. It had to happen.
Yeah, the clean race didn't last that long for him.
And he's disconnecting. And he's oh, come on. My God. Now he's still there. Oh, what was that? Did he maybe accidentally turned his engine off or something? Like, maybe he hit that button? That's possible. Anyways, you know, you can gladly take the lead on the commentary. I will try to match whatever you say with the camera. Just tell me, just try and make it a point to tell me who you're talking about.
Cool. Okay, well, I guess that Vito incident quickly. I think that was kind of his own making, dare I say it. Making it 3 wide very briefly between Diakovsky and the Mercedes that I shall not pronounce.
We got a side by side into turn 1 between Mills and Los there, and behind them is also some spicy stuff brewing, and Mills on the inside does come out on top in the BMW. A civil war there, but behind that looks spicy indeed. We've got the British car being rounded by Vista, who's making his way up the order now after his mandatory no qualifying.
Yeah, nice clean start from him, of course trying to make his way through the pack already. As yeah, Mills and Laws going side by side very nearly into, I think, Sunset is the name of that corner. Yeah, I think Mills has lost P2 in Silver Class to Kruger. I believe Kruger got that one done on Laws into turn 1, and then Mills slipping back a little bit further. But yeah, back at the front, and we've got a good four-way train forming here. Vogtman still holding the lead after Zelch took that P2 off of Illignite in quite a decisive move actually, just to send it down the inside. You do have to be careful into or through that first little section with the big curves on the inside. Be a nice racecraft from the two of them. And yeah, by that though, I think Illignite is looking faster right now. Kind of all over the rear of Zelch's Mercedes. That was Bond getting out in the grass through. Oh, and there's another car off in the background. I think that's Stricker. Yeah, Stricker through the gravel.
Aye. Let me set up the replays. He is flashing his lights though, so he must be frustrated with something. I wonder what it is, because I assume if you go in the gravel in that corner, you messed it up yourself. Not really anyone else to blame for that.
Yeah, having a quick look at the replay myself, and yeah, looks like he did that all on his own. Just hit the curve a bit too hard. A very good save though. Either way, Van den Hudding almost doing the same ahead of him actually. So yeah, not the best of start for him. Of course, his teammate in P5. That should be a relatively quick car, and I think a quick duo. Score some points as some action in the middle sector between Lors and Mills. That's kind of fizzled out, however. Lors, I think, quicker at this point, despite Mills getting past in the other lap. But yeah, we've got a nice little four-way pack forming here with Kruger, Stricker, Mills, and Lors.
Is that a send? That is a send from Chris Stricker, and he just he sees that gap and he goes for it. The thing is though that Kruger did carry a lot of momentum. It is not enough unless he can tuck into slipstream here and get him at the downhill or after the downhill section. I believe it's called Quarry or something, or Mine Shaft. Oh wait, is that an actual double send by Mills? He sees the gap form and just goes for it. So Kruger loses 2 positions within what's that, 3 corners. Everyone else capitalizing a little bit on his inaction there, and good stuff from him. Oh my god, Mills, no! How did that happen? I'm going for a replay on that one. That was quite the moment. Oh, come on, don't die on... Okay, didn't die on you. Perfect. Okay, good.
Did it on his own.
Yeah, he touched the grass or something, but that is so weird. It's just because I praised him. Never praise Mills. He'll do that.
Yeah, it always seems to go wrong. Yeah, it never seems to materialise. Meanwhile, though, I think Alien has got past Zelch.
Oh, he
I'm not
has.
quite sure how that's happened. Yeah, it looks... I didn't see them side by side, so I don't know if there's been a error from Zelch. I'll go back through the replay, have a look.
Yeah, it is interesting because you were correct earlier in your assessment of the situation. I believe Illigna was a good bit faster. He was within 2 tenths, almost shoving Zelch through some of the corners, and then he fell off a little bit, and I decided, we can look at the back of, or at the midfield, and now they've traded positions. So unfortunately, we missed that, but Illigna back into P2 is interesting to see what he can do to Velman.
Yeah, I just had a quick look at the replay, and it was an error from Zelch. He went wide up at the hairpin, and then that gave Illigna the run down through Mineshaft, I think. And then, yeah, just get that move done around the outside. Zelch backing up. Yeah,
Moulton also backing out as he is being passed by 2 of the guys we've seen spin. Both Chevinsky and Mills finding their ways past Moulton. Mills, no! Hey. The consistency. I swear, I age like 4 times the speed when I watch Mills. It's just, I'm on edge constantly. It's not good for my heart rate to watch him.
Vista, meanwhile, down the inside of Renault into turn 1, gets that one done quite nicely. Still moving up. He is into P12 already.
Yep. But is he running the same Audi as everyone else, or am I being...
I believe he is running the same one, yeah. He is held by the curved wing at the back.
Yeah, okay.
Paying that much attention.
Okay, okay. Yeah, the livery makes the front of the car look really weird, so it makes me
Yeah.
think it's a different car, but it isn't. There's like, what, 3 Audis in this game? I mean, there's the normal
Yeah,
GT3,
there is.
the Evo, and then the Evo 2, I guess, so...
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he's...
spoiled
Oh,
choice.
Mills, no! Again, we'll go for a replay. Let's see what happened to him here. How is he... Oh, no, wait. Yeah, he's burned Malton because he lost the position again. We saw that. And then half a lap later... what is that? Okay. I am at a little bit of a loss of words here.
Yes, it's not really gone very well for him, has it? Not gonna lie. How difficult race.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? And he of course has the bad luck of this being a 17 driver race, and he produces some content. So unfortunately, we have time to look at what he does, and you know, that's why he's under high scrutiny right now. It's a bit of an unfortunate circumstance.
Yeah, everyone's quite strung out right now. Not really any side-by-side brewing, not that I can see anyway. Of course, they've got the runaway top 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of becoming 2 sets of 2, as Elena, with fastest lap of course, is currently closing in on Belgium for the lead.
Yeah, you could say that is brewing. They are currently flying at the front there, and I don't think Veldman is safe for long. Well, was usually, I think, a pretty cooperative teammate, but if he has got the pace like that and there's 50 minutes to go, there's no chance he doesn't want to win this race. I'm sure he'll go for it. Probably he will. I mean, he will keep in mind don't crash your teammate out, but that's about it. If Veldman gives him the opening, I think he will take it.
Yeah, 3 cents quicker on the last lap. I feel like this gap will come down relatively fast if he can keep that one up. See as they come across the line now what their lap times will be. Veldman crossing the line first with a 41.3 and a 41.1 almost from Illigna, so still quicker in Illigna's favour. So yeah, this gap is going to continue to fall, and Zolch is still falling away. So yeah, not looking that fast compared to the top 2 in the Mercedes. Of course, he's got Sam relatively close. I think just there, kind of biding his time right now. Not really looking too dangerous, but you know, if he's handed an opportunity, I'm sure that will change.
Absolutely. Bans is still going pretty well. Well clear in silver class, and somehow able to keep up with Sam. Pretty surprised at that. Bans not known for practicing much ACC in general, and just able to go that pace is really impressive. The only thing that would impress me more is if he kept that up for the entirety of the race without any funny business. He seems to be determined to do so though, so you know, all power to him. Let's see what he can do. Right now, silver class does not look close though, with Krüger and Loos on P10 and 11 and himself on P5. Oh, there's also...
Yeah, Vance. Sorry.
Yeah, there's something going on with Banz's teammate there, as Chris Strecker is under threat from the aforementioned silver class drivers Krüger and Loos. But I think he was able to successfully defend that one. Now Krüger has a look to the inside into the right-hander. Chris able to keep his car clear though, and goes on as P9. And every time it goes to that part of the track, to that corner, the death curb corner, I think formerly known as a cheater, but every time it comes to that, it's just a question of bravery. How close do you go to the curb? Some drivers, I guess, will live there, so spicy stuff every time.
Yeah, it's interesting through there because some cars can take a little bit of curb, a very little amount, but you can kind of clip it in cars like the BMW. But then, you know, the Audis, Mercedes, they can't ride anywhere near as well. So it's definitely a corner that will spit you out quite happily. Of course, that's something that everyone else to be careful of, and Stricker, of course, already having that slight off earlier on, courtesy of that car. Just checking in at the right at the front, and yeah, Alien is really piling the pressure now onto Veldman. I saw a little, I just caught the end of a little error there from Veldman up at the hairpin, which has allowed Alien to get even closer. As in the background of the straight, you've got Vance catching Sam, but I feel like the lead fight is gonna kick off a little bit sooner than that one.
Yeah, that is impressive. That Vance is not just going the pace; he's closing the gap. But Illigna stand out so far. Lost the position of that start with the almighty send from Zelt, but he's recovered so well and now is pressuring his teammate. Passing at Kyalami though is never gifted, especially if you are extra careful since it's your teammate. You could run into some obstacles. We will see. I'm interested to see how he does it. You need a really good run, I would assume, or just catch the other guy off guard.
Yeah, you've got a big chance to slipstream down that main straight, but also a lot of opportunity can come in the middle and final sector. But yeah, that tends to be a little bit, well, have the potential to be a little bit messier than a straightforward pass down that straight. So I'm not sure Illigna will want to do that, considering they are teammates. He could prove me wrong. However, yeah, I'm not sure he will be making any kind of ludicrous sense most of them.
Yeah, he is of course a race winner at this point in time. He has finally won his first race last season, and the last one as well at the final round Catalonia. And he did win that ahead of his teammate Veldman, so this is not his quest for a first top step of the podium. Still, would be meaningful. He does not win. He does not really win races often. He's usually top midfield or somewhere in the lead battle, and I think he miscalculated to the breaking point a little bit there. But yeah, this would still mean a lot, I would assume. And he is piling on the pressure, though I think he just cracked himself a little bit and has lost time. Has probably lost like a lap worth of time there.
Yeah, he was closing still about 0.3 per lap. That lap lost about that. So yeah, I don't know about a lap's worth of work. However, that will of course fluctuate. So I don't think there's too much to worry about for him. As Stricker dives into the pits, the first one to do so. I think he's got some damage at the front, so that might explain the early stop. Just wanted to get rid of any of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, apart from the leading two, and of course anything that comes out of Stricker's very early pit stop, you've still got Bance coming onto the back of Sam. I think the Audi is quite fast in a straight line, so watch out for him slipstreaming it down the main straight. And yeah, as you touched on earlier, Timo, that is a very impressive showing from him. I mean, either way, still a driver fighting a two-time champion. Two-time? I think two-time champion in Sam. Yeah, that is, of course, a pretty impressive feat in itself.
Yeah, I remember when I did my little comeback in the Nations Cup. I felt like God because I was able to stay within, I think, 5 seconds of Sam on that comeback. So, the fact that Van's actually making it uncomfortable here for him is a really big success already. And I wonder how long he can keep it up. If he can keep driving that, it's hard to judge. I always feel like he's a better driver than he gives himself credit for, but he also misses a lot of his potential because he does not race consistently, does not practice a lot. And that is a bit of a shame. Maybe this gives him, the kick he needs to realize, okay, I've got something in me. Maybe if I put the time in, can maybe race for some wins. I don't know if he's won a race before. I know it was close in season 2. No, wait, not season 2. A bit later, season 3, I think, in Spain, there was a race where he was fighting for the win, and that might be the last time, so 7 seasons. And now, well, he's not fighting for the win, but he's fighting for P4 against a 2-time champion, so that is still impressive.
And compared to the rest of the silver drivers, that's definitely a far better showing. Of course, Kruger currently P9 and Laws P10. So yeah, he's comfortable in that sense as Ruben, just slips past the 340 Mercedes, who makes an error in the S's, clouting the curb on the inside.
Mm-hmm. The 340 Mercedes, you say? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
let's leave it at that for now.
Okay.
Yeah, just clobber that inside curb, and that's completely sent him off track. The Mercedes can't really deal with that kind of curb strike, so yeah, a very easy mistake to make. But he was already being caught by Van den Helle, so I feel like it was a somewhat inevitable pass anyway. Just coming a bit easier, I guess, for Ruben.
Oh, and Dvořák with another mistake. Sorry, the 340 Mercedes. As he does catch the curb in turn 14, I guess. We use the numbers now instead of saying the real names.
Yeah, just needs to settle back down again after that error. Long race still to go, 41 minutes left on the clock. Got a lot of time to make up for that mistake, especially come pit stops. So yeah, I think just relaxing, getting back into the rhythm is all he's got to do right now. Yeah,
and it is such a rhythm killer if that happens once to you, because it'll make you more self-conscious. More self-conscious the next time you enter that corner. It's like, wait, I thought last time was fine. I did something wrong though. What do I change now? And then you get all in your head and start making more and more mistakes as Bans. That was sideways. I'm pretty sure that was a sideways car. I was pretty sure he was gonna go around. He does not though, so nicely caught. Can't have been nice to the tires, but they will have to bear that burden. And he has not lost much time at all. But he and Sam are both down 5/10 on the delta each, so I guess that explains it.
Yeah, very nice save. He's still putting the pressure on Sam. I think Sam's looking pretty rock solid though, quite composed. Meanwhile, Elignite has closed in a bit more on Feldman. I think they were relatively equal last time around. Yeah, we're 7,000 separating them both. But I think, I've been watching Illignant for the last lap or so, and I think his lines are just a little bit...
Bans is really close to Sam here.
Oh, yeah.
He is not able to challenge for an overtake because Sam covers the inside line really early, gets a solid run out of the corner, and will be able to place his car strategically in the face of that Audi. But I think he goes a little bit deep here into Sunset, not really overtaking spot though, unless someone else makes a proper mistake, and that did not happen. But the pressure is definitely on, and Sam can't afford to make mistakes, and he also can't really afford to lose that position. He needs those points.
Yeah, it's a nice undercut attempt from Bans, of course. Sam, I think, got a bit slightly actually mid-corner, which, well caught if so. Keeping that place is essential for him. Oh, it's Zelch around. Zelch has spun at the exit.
No, I hope he does not get into the way of the others. He does not, and that is a P3 gone sideways. We're going to look at a replay in just a moment. Let's see what happened there, because that is not what you expect. Here we are in the replay into the little S section, and I assume he's just gonna bonk the curb. Oh, that is so weird. How? Oh my... What? Okay, I have no analysis of what happened there. That looked really weird. He, I don't know, hit the curb and then lost the car and then wiggled around and then caught the grass and then he spun. It was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's that curb again. His teammate, well, I don't know if he is a teammate, but he's running the same livery anyway. The other SPS Automotive Mercedes suffering the same fate, just touching the curb. Of course, a little bit less dramatic, but I mean, good job to the rest of the pack for not collecting him. That was very close, especially for Sam and Bans. Both have to take to the grass. as Lawes dives into the pits, the second stopper of the race. I think we are somewhat approaching pit stop time now. 37 minutes in, I think it's a little bit early. However, getting out of any kind of melee in the mid-pack is probably going to be a smart choice.
Mid-pack melee, let's go. It's a brilliant way to phrase it. Oh, we've got mid-pack melee going on here with Renoir and Czerwinski, and they head side by side into turn 4, and Czerwinski gets the place. So, you know, he did get taken out earlier on, potentially his own fault. Don't know, didn't really see it, but at least he gets rewarded with an exciting race, gaining places through the field and showing everyone that it is possible to overtake in a GT3 car.
Yeah, top 10. A solid comeback drive from him. The actual contact early was not his fault, however, the build-up, I guess, kind of put him in that position, which was sadly on him. But yeah, I mentioned it last round, I feel like he can never get a clean race, and usually not his fault either. But yeah, he's making up for it, up to P10 already, of course, from the very back earlier on. So yeah, not of course what he wanted, but he's making the best of it. And considering he started in P8, you know, he's approaching that kind of area. So yeah, good job to him.
There's a fight going on for P15, which is, of course, not really P15 since both of those have pitted before. Between Visser and Lawes, and you would think that if you pit early, you put yourself out of the midfield melee. Let's go. But they have unfortunately met each other on track, and are now gonna hold each other up as well. So that is not good at all. You want that clear air if you pit early, and they are not getting any of it. We will see after all of the pit stops whether this is a detriment to them or if they are just fine.
Yeah, back at the front, that gap between Eligna and Bodmer has opened up quite a bit. Eligna, he took a bit too much speed actually, he made a mistake on his own, took a bit too much speed into Sunset and lost the rear as a result. A very, very good save, well held. But yeah, that's opened the gap back up and has kind of undone some of his hard work recently. So, considering they were relatively close on pace the last few laps, I'm not sure how easy it will be for him to catch up on pace, and yeah, I wonder if the strategic element might come into play. Meanwhile, yeah. Sam and Bance both go for the pit lane.
Yeah, so no strategical mind games between those two guys, both in the pit lane. And this is, of course, now, keep in mind, the fight for the last podium position with the uncharacteristic spin of Lewis Zelch in the S's. Now, whoever comes out on top, and this will be a podium score, and it has been quite some time for Bance, I can tell you. Not so much for Sam, but he also, of course, can't afford to go down from 35 points to 29, I think, is what the next person gets. So, yeah, he will fight hard for this, even if he probably sees himself further up the order.
Yeah, I feel I think Bance is probably going to lose out here, out of the pits, and yeah, that gap has opened up. I think he was a bit slower off the line, but also on entry, I think he broke for the wrong pit line, because there's two coming to the very weird actually entry here at Kyalami. One of them with the orange board that you need to slow down for, and one unmarked, and he was on the limiter for the first one. So it seems like a minor detail, but that will have lost him quite a lot, and I think is a big reason for why that gap is so much bigger. Yeah,
that is a classic Bance though, gotta say. That always used to be his thing, where his races always look good, but you just know as soon as the pit stops come, it is all over, because something always happens. And he speeds into the pit lane, he completely misses his pit box. He does not get, well, he gets himself wet tires, he gets himself worn tires, something always happened in the pits. So he always had exciting races for 25 minutes and then it's all over. I don't think this is nearly as bad as the historical jokes we make, but it is still quite bad. He gets stuck behind a British car, and it is not doing him well right now. I'm sure he knows the urgency of this overtake, so he will fully commit to it, and respect to him. Gets it done around the outside. Still, we're gonna wait for the gap update. It is massive. So, wait, Sam is right ahead of Mills. No, yeah, ahead of Mills, and then it's 5 seconds to Boone. So, he lost a solid 5 seconds in that.
Yeah, not an ideal pit sequence for him at all. He did make light work though of Aidan Bailey, so that was a good move from him. Bailey actually diving into the pits himself now. So yeah, it was looking oh so good, kind of undone a little bit as Phantom Play rejoins just behind Vance. That fight is a bit closer than I would have expected, but yeah, I think that should bring Diakovsky quite close to Vance as well. So I believe he was just ahead of Ruben. So watch out for that kind of blend as they rejoin.
Yeah, Ruben also gonna be happy that he manages to be ahead of Moulton, because we saw with Vance how annoying it can be to be behind a car you are faster than here, and that would be bad, but he manages to get away with it, and Veldman now is the first one to pull the trigger out of the leading pair at Fast Forward Racing. He goes for the pits. I believe do you remember last race? Didn't Illigner go pretty deep in a stint as well and was pretty fast in the second one then, or am I getting that wrong? Am I getting it mixed up with someone?
I'm going to be honest with you, I don't remember, but I think it was the fight between Zelch and Sam that saw that happen, where Sam stayed out, but I might be wrong. I know Sam does like a long stint, so I wonder if he will do that today, but yeah, I'm not sure how that happened last time around, but yeah, fresh tyres for Veldman, and these are going to be some crucial laps for him.
Yeah, and Zelch is not going to be happy with what he is fighting for right now. It is on paper P3, but with the pit stops, we are looking at what, like P7, P8, something like that, against his, I don't know if actually teammate, but they are running the same livery as you pointed out earlier, and I doubt there will be many sympathies on the track between those two. They will fight it out. Zelt should be the faster driver, and he gets uncomfortably close in that braking zone. Let's just hope he never accidentally goes in with overconfidence in the brakes and then hits someone. That would be tragic. But I think he is experienced enough to not have that happen.
It's interesting to watch him actually. He's a lot better on the brakes, and I think that's because he's dragging the brakes a lot more through the corner, so a lot more trail braking, which of course is very important on ACC particularly, because yeah, his fellow Mercedes diving into the pits, so he doesn't need to worry about that anymore. But yeah, you mentioned him getting uncomfortably close, and I think that is down to the fact that he trail brakes oh so much, which is definitely a good trait to have. For wheel to wheel, it does make it a bit scary when you're following somebody. However, yeah, it definitely makes those overtakes a lot easier. And in a car that is a little unstable at the rear at times in the Mercedes, being able to do that does allow you to keep the car a bit more stable at the rear end. So yes, it's a interesting little trait, and but yeah, one to his benefit for sure.
Driving school with George.
Yeah.
Today's episode, trail braking. Yeah, it's that is likely what's going on there. I'm impressed running on board with him. My instinct told me he completely overshot the corner twice, but he manages to get it slowed down just by taking lines I do not expect, because he is trail braking as much, and he still makes it work. And that's how GT3 cars work. We are of course originally an F1 game community, but everyone should have adjusted to the fact that trail braking is king in GT3 cars by now, and we have got a fight for the lead, disguising as fight for P4 right now, because Illigner has pitted only, one lap or 2 laps after his own teammate, and now the gap is down to 1/10 of a second, and Illigner seems to finally want to put the nail in the coffin, hopefully not literally, or figuratively. Yeah. let's hope he does not kill his teammate. Still though, he wants to put this race to bed. Do you say that? I don't know. Trying to come up with metaphors for it. Oh my god! He was so close in the brakes there.
Yeah, that was not a case of jailbreaking, allowing him to get a bit closer. But yeah, clearly not that impressive outlaps from Veldman. Of course, the one pitting first, full fresh tyres, you would expect him to therefore open up the gap a little bit. However, it looks like Illigno did have more pace, and that the clean air just allowed him to use that. I would say that's probably my best guess. Yeah, I think it was only last lap that Illigno pitted, judging by his lap time. So straight out of the pits and to be already on the back of Veldman is quite impressive, considering he'll have low pressure and therefore less grippy tyres.
Yeah, both of them setting the timing screens a little bit ablaze. Both up 5/10 on their respective fastest lap times already, so some real pace going on with them. And they are using it, well, they are motivating each other to get away from the rest as well, as they are caught up in their own little scrap. Illigno, though, of course, needs to, be clean and try not spook himself by doing what he did their last lap at the bottom of the hill, where I'm pretty sure he just got scared because he broke himself too close to his teammate and didn't want to hit him, so he backed off and that cost time, and now he's down to 5/10. I feel like Veldman might have a little bit of an edge right now, or at least it is pretty even.
Yeah, they're both pulling away very nicely from Sam, who is of course now more comfortable. So they do have a gap to fight it out if they so wish to. Of course, with Selch further down the grid, then they don't really have too much pressure from behind. He, of course, is still staying out, so that's interesting. It's dynamic. As Stravinsky heads into the pits along with Diakovsky, that does mean there is one less car ahead of Veldman, so that should mean one less possible interruption to that fight. Because of course traffic can always play a little bit of a role. Of course, with Stravinsky not a lap down, therefore that would be full position. But never mind about that, because we don't need to worry.
A bit of an observation I just had is that both races, or Pro Race and the Silver Class, are currently being 1-2'd by the Audi. Is the Audi just good at Kyalami? Is it a coincidence because of low sample size, or what's going on there? You know anything?
I would probably say a bit of both. I know that Audi is quick here. It was ludicrously quick, this new one. Of course, the Evo 2 only out for a couple of months, I think. Actually, maybe a bit more than that. But anyway, it was very, very quick. It recently had some balancing, so it is, I think, more even, but I believe still faster. So, yeah, it's, I think, a mix of both small sample size and car advantage, because, yeah, the Audi is definitely the favourite here, and to be honest, it always has been.
Yeah, so I guess Sam won't be beating himself up too much over the fact that he's only able to contend for P3 right now. Probably if he manages to bring home P3, that has good damage limitation. If Illigno is able to take the position of his teammate here for the race win, then that plays right into Sam's cards, unless it, unless this kickstarts Illigno's championship challenge. But he's never really challenged for a title, so probably if you are Sam, you're more scared of the reigning champion getting the points than his teammate, who usually ends up top midfield instead of title fights. So yeah, I mean, this could be fine for Sam, even if his car is completely outdone here.
Yeah, because all things considered, third place is not at all bad for him. He's definitely not quite been on the same pace as these two. I don't know how much that is car versus just driver and practice levels. But yeah, third place is not bad at all, and if Illigno can pass Sullivan, which they are quite close once again, so whether that will come soon, yeah, he will of course be wanting Veldman to drop back, because that is all the more points in his favour, or less damage to his advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Is anyone else fighting on track right now? I think that Visa came out on top in the in the fight with Stricker. What is the camera doing? Yeah, he's fighting with Los, so this is a 3-man battle group. And now Zelch is also gone for the pit stop. I do not know where he is going to come out, but it'll be interesting to see, because he is... well, he spun himself, he was behind Wojak, but then he is also a really fast driver who just had some clear air, so maybe he can emerge P7 maybe, or P6 or thereabouts, and that is, well, we're gonna see. Wait, oh, Dvorak is parked out of the hairpin at the top of the mountain, and that looks really weird. Why is he parked there? Has he got a peripheral failure or something?
Engine is off, so I'm not sure what's happened there. I'll have a look at the replay for you. Have a quick look.
Well, we know that he's probably not recovering from this, as his race likely comes to an end there. And now, oh, that is a mistake from Vissat, as it, yeah, it would also have been a mistake from Stricker to try and get alongside as a result of that.
I just had a look back at the replay, and I honestly have no idea what's happened to the Mercedes that stopped, because he's accelerated out of the hairpin and just the car has not done anything. It's not accelerating at all, and then I don't think we'll turn back on, so I'm not quite sure what to take from that. It looks like fuel.
Yeah, I was gonna
I don't
say,
know,
maybe he screwed up on his pit stop settings?
Yeah, I'm not, I mean, no, because I think it's mandatory that you have to do fuel, unless he...
Yeah, but maybe he didn't put fuel in, then because of the mandatory 25. Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it, I mean, the car kind of moved, it drove like it had no fuel, and obviously wouldn't turn back on again, so that could be what's going on. But yeah, either way, that's a bit...
Oh wait, Sam's bottled it, and that allows Born through into P3. So now we've got Bans in a podium position there with 20 minutes to go. Our 2-time champion throws it away, and we go to the replay. This is him driving on his own, and it is, of course, Death Curb Corner, and Death Curb Corner is going to show us why it is called that way right now. That is why it's called Death Curb Corner, and yeah, at least pretty safe on the rejoin there. Gonna be gutted though, and now we have got another fight brewing, as I believe Chumley will at least try everything within his power to reclaim that position. And I am sorry, I'll have to leave you alone for like a minute and a half, and I'll put the camera on the top too, because I just feel like something is brewing, and I'd kick myself if I missed it.
Perfect, because you are exactly right. Iligna gained about half a second on the last lap compared to Veldman, so I think something is on the way there. They did have to pass, I think that's Bailey, yeah, they had to pass Aidan Bailey, who was a lap down. That didn't play into Veldman's hands that much, no real blue flag issue, however, it did put him a little bit off line. Yeah, of course, Iligna hunting that P1. As we were saying earlier, I'm not sure when the last time was he won, but going a little bit wide through Death Curb. Of course, better to be wide than too past the inside. Yeah, tucking into the slipstream now of his teammate down the main straight. A bit too far back, I think, to make anything work, although he is closing, but yeah, nowhere near enough. They are closing in, however, on Moulton, who they will also be lapping. Fingers crossed that doesn't play too much of a role in this, and yeah, getting out of the way very nicely, just to leave these two to go at it. So, 18 minutes to go, and Iligna still all over the back of Veldman. Definitely looking on the front foot right now. He seems like he's got the pace, and is, I think, more confident right behind his teammate through Sunset, and into the technical middle sector they shall go. It's a bit further back, and the number 27 is around, or causing a yellow flag at least, which is Mills, again from P4 in class right now. I think he does still retain that, despite the error. Not sure how he made that error or what the problem was. However, yeah, another mistake from him. Either way, I shall divert from that. And back to the fight at hand. Of course, Elina on Feldman. Still pretty even this lap, I would say. No real swing as they come into the bottom of the hill. Elina gaining, of course, on the brakes, but keeping relatively equal in terms of gap.
Hello.
Hello. Well, yeah, big curb hit there for Elina. See the sparks underneath this car, but gets away with that one. So, yeah, that's exactly what he needs to do, which is just be on the limit and hope he can find a way past his teammate.
I have been informed I missed a Mills no, which is
Yeah.
unsurprising. There are lots of these. What happened?
I'm not sure what happened, but I saw he had dropped it on his own. I think I saw him quite alone on the track map. But yeah, I quickly diverted from that one to not give his errors too much screen time.
Yeah, I timed that. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whilst the top two get very close, Elina gaining a little bit in the braking zone through, I think that's turn 7, and now into the S's. Yeah, a bit wide from Veldman. Elina definitely with the momentum right now. He's on the front foot, and they are catching some traffic. That is Mills as well. Not implying anything at all, I promise. But yeah, traffic can always play a part in this fight, and when they're both so close and so even, that could well have some impact on this battle. 15 minutes on the clock, and still no real move from Elina, no sign of one either. So maybe that kind of exterior factor is what he needs just to force his way past.
One thing you cannot blame on BOP is the fact that Sam not only isn't fighting for P3 at this point, he has to hold on for P4 because his fellow BMW, Diakovsky, is going for him in equal machinery. Well, probably not completely equal. Diakovsky has has less flat spots on his tires, I would assume, because Sam has probably done those tires by sliding out of Death Curb corner earlier, so that is likely why he is on the back foot there, but it is his own making, so can't really put the blame aside there. And yeah, I'm just surprised because I did think he was going to close down Bance and reel him in, try and push for the overtake for the next 15 minutes, but as it stands, Bance is just going away here in P3, looking to claim his first podium in, I don't know, probably years at this point. And yeah, Sam just has to deal with Diakovsky.
Yes, he's not had quite as much of a turn of pace as I expected. That is kind of becoming a three-way BMW fight, actually. Of course, he's got Diakovsky behind him, but also his Trigon teammate, Brandon Hunting, currently in P6, and I think closing those two down. So the more those two fight and the closer those two get, the more likely he is to get involved, as Diakovsky getting a very nice run out of the S's. Sam is a bit wide, Sam going defensive as well. Diakovsky to the outside, what can he do? Not much on the brakes, but he has a look back to the inside to try and get a cutback. Of course, he will be deep in the slipstream down through Mineshaft. Whether he can do anything, I'm not quite sure. I don't think he can. Looks like Sam got a good exit out of the hairpin, so good job from him. This will swoop to the inside to just make sure Diakovsky won't send anything down the inside. But yeah, those two are definitely gonna have some kind of fight by the looks of things. And Zelch also joining this fight, making this a four-way battle.
Yeah, this is getting quite a lively midfield melee, my new favorite thing to say. And yeah, what a fight this can be with the Mercedes. Probably the fastest when left alone. He has got 3 BMWs to clean up, though. He did get a penalty in the last race for how he dealt with one of those, specifically with Sam, who is in 4th. So yeah, Zelch has to control himself a little bit there, though it is not for the race win. I assume that will just add and, well, make him more restrained in a natural way.
Yeah, ultimately Zelch was a lot quicker that last lap. He was, I think, about a second faster. Sorry, strolling through the pack of Visser down the inside of Lawson into turn 1. Can he make that one stick? He can. Nice move on the brakes. Lawson, though, coming for the cutback. Sorry, a bit of a random fight, but yeah, side by side, that's going to be close, and Lawson makes it back through. Good move, and a lot of confidence needed considering the big curves that I mentioned earlier. And yeah, Stricken out also joining that fight on the run to Sunset.
Momo Stricker, he is lurking and lurking into Suns. Oh my god, he scared him! That was a mind punt and a half, as he sends it on him and Visser just moves out of the way even though he wouldn't have been hit, and he loses the position to Vito in 12, now 11, who is still going, which is quite nice to see.
Yeah, the definition of a mind punt right there from Chris, nicely done, I guess you could say. Yeah, I mean, that Audi not looking the most stable, because as soon as Visser made that slight jink to the left, then that completely sent his car wayward. Of course, good job to keep that one out of the gravel and stay in that fight. And yeah, meanwhile, back to the four-way scrap that we were talking about before that, or before I interrupted with that. And yeah, Bance is getting away. He's definitely the fastest of this set, a few tenths quicker than Sam last time around. So yeah, he's doing everything he needs to do. He needs to keep it clean. He's got a spin. Is that number 9?
Isn't. It is, yes. We're going for
yeah, that's right. Yeah, right in front of the leaders, I think.
Maybe. Yeah. It is. So... Oh wow, he just loses it on entry, just throws the car in and it instantly goes away. Didn't even manage to hit the curb or anything, it just goes. That is quite unusual to see. The leaders go through safely though. They probably looked at the map and thought, oh god, please no.
Yeah, it's always not what you want to see, especially when you're leading. A yellow flag ahead and a car spun. It's, oh, speaking of spinning, Iligna very nearly. He was running right on the edge. I was running on board with him, sorry, at the time. Yeah, a little bit wide through that curb and very nearly drops it, just dipping a wheel on the grass. But somehow manages to keep that gap development pretty similar.
Yeah, and also speaking of spinning, Ben also spun in the meantime and he drops down to P12, so this back to 11th, and Vito managed to get himself a top 10, unless something funny happens in the next 10 minutes, even though he did get punted at the start. Also Zelch is so close to Ruben, but not, well actually not that close, but not able to go for a move. It just feels like there's a lot of fights brewing and they aren't active yet, you know, like a Cold War. It's not a hot war yet.
Yeah, dormant volcanoes, I think you could say.
Yeah,
With,
that is better. Yes.
Yeah, 9 minutes ago, I think this will all erupt at some point. So yeah, I think that four-way fight between Zelch, Van den Harding, Diakovsky, and Sam is the main one. So yeah, Sam going a bit wide, and that's actually going to give Diakovsky a chance. He's going to send it down the inside. Defense from Sam manages to keep his place, but Diakovsky cutting back under, can't quite make anything work there on the way to the S's. But yeah, that's brought Van den Harding and Zelch right back into the fight.
Yeah, this is such a fundamental problem with these, with the racing in these cars, that if you defend on the inside, you block the other guy's ability to, you know, just take the corner and carry some speed, because those cars, they need to carry the speed to be fast out of the corner. It's not like an F1 car where if someone else takes the inside line, they're going to be so bad on the straight, you just take the late apex and make the overtake. It doesn't work like that in these cars. So I think if you manage to cover the inside early enough, you are usually fine when you're being overtaken. That is why overtaking in these cars is so difficult, and that is how Sam gets away after having made that mistake. And that is also why Zelch is still well, he still has to lurk for his moment.
Yeah, it's a bit of a game of momentum, but you know, overtaking can still be done. There's just more work to be done on the brakes than exit. So yeah, Ruben having a little look on.
Oh, I think Zelch completely misshot it, and he just, wow, that was a late send. that was the only way to really avoid the collision, and he's made it work. Wow, but then he
Loses
makes... Oh no!
side by side.
He might get away with it.
Oh.
Oh, he squeezes him onto the gravel, and they make contact. Ruben is furious here, but I think it was just about fine. Zelch, though, pissing off Trigon Racing 2 races in a row.
Yeah, a bit of a scrappy battle there. Zelch, I don't know if he meant to make that move down the inside, but
No, he
not bad.
He didn't.
I mean, either way, he made the best of it, and yeah, that was not a bad move at all. But yeah, just losing the rear end, going through the next couple of corners. He does well, actually, to avoid the curves, and not make a bit bigger of a crash, and that would, of course, angered Trigon a little bit more than he already has. But yeah, that's strung these two out. Now got kind of two pairs with Vanden Harding, I'm sure, fired up to make a move again.
I've got to say, the attendance today is, of course, a little bit of a bummer, but the drivers that are here are giving us a show. We are only down 2, and, you know, there's fights, there's so many fights right now active. We've got Chris and Vito going, and Vissa is trying to sneak up on this once more, and who else did we okay, I thought we just lost someone. We've got the fight for the lead, of course, but Illigner not able to complete a pass so far, and then this amazing four-way scrap where there has just been a position gained by Lewis Zelch. Now he needs to close in back on Diakowski, who is fighting his fellow BMW, and it could be a Van's podium. I'm trying to investigate how many races it has been since he scored one, but I'm gonna have to go deep into the archives.
Yeah, I mean, speak of attendance, just if I may touch on that, we were, I think, meant to have 29 drivers, so I'm not sure how so many suddenly happened, suddenly disappeared in like a 20-minute window. But anyway, yeah, you're definitely right. We've had a very good fight. Of course, still 5 minutes left for this to all play out. And yeah, Illigner closer than ever to Feldman as well, going down the hill right now. But yeah, he seems to be close, especially through this last sector, but never seems to quite be able to get close enough to throw onto the inside. But time running out, I wonder if he'll be getting a little bit impatient and kind of be fed up of seeing his teammates' gearbox, because he's been there for a while.
Yeah, surely he has to do something at some point, and with a 21-second gap behind them, I think he can even afford to be a little bit daring, because even if he spins them, you know, they're probably still fine. Still, don't want to see them crash into each other, but you know, you're not even risking much for the team. I'm surprised he hasn't been able to do it yet. He seems like he has the upper hand all the time. Whenever he makes a mistake, he is back within a lap or two. Just the overtake hasn't happened, and that is exactly what I meant. Kyalami, it's possible to overtake. We've seen a lot of them today, even with the reduced grid size, but sometimes you just get stuck behind some, and sometimes they don't they don't do you the favor of screwing up into, the exit onto a long straight, and then you are just sitting there. And that's what's happening right now to Illigner, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's weird, because he's definitely faster, and looks to have a bit more... just the way he's placing his car is a bit more aggressive. He looks just on the front foot. Yeah, there's just not been an opportunity for him to make a move, and I'm not quite sure why that is. He just seems to kind of be faster at all the wrong points.
Yeah.
Yeah, the now three-way fight, meanwhile, is getting a lot more intense. Sam under a lot more pressure from Diakowski, and those two have got Zelch on their tail as well, who's caught back up after his little adventure with Vanden Harding. As yeah, let's see what the leaders are up to in the main straight, because I think Illigner is closer. I don't think close enough to make a move though. Oh, Sam's been spun.
Oh no! And that allows Zelch through now. Diakowski and Ruben are scrapping, and Ruben's got that place. Let's go for a replay to see what happened there, because I did completely miss that, and I hope we don't miss anything. So, you see, oh no, he's just gonna absolutely send it, isn't he? Or does he just miss his braking? Oh no. That overtake was about as good as 5% Jim Beam Ginger Ale. My god. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird one. There was kind of two mistakes because Selch also went wide, but somehow managed to keep out the way of everyone. And yeah, Diakowski making his own error to spin Sam.
Yeah, and that of course destroys that fight completely. And oh, that is an off track from Ruben, and he will be under attack by his teammate and Diakowski, who now finds the inside line. Can he make a clean move? Oh no, the Trigon cars are blocking each other into the S's, but Diakowski's run was not good enough to go side by side, and they are. Oh my god, now it's actually Sam who is the one struggling there. I doubt he's taken damage though, but he seems on the back foot. And now on the outside there, the Jim Beam car not able to do it. Hopefully he doesn't outbrake himself at the same spot again. And now the leaders are on the final lap. And my broadcasting kind of excited me for a second, saying it was 1/10 of a second. But I feel like Veldman is just gonna be able to drive this home. No late lunge from... Yeah.
Sorry, Diakowski, he had to go around the outside of Van den Harding. Couldn't make it stick though, took too much speed, and it just drifted wide. But this is the last time down the main straight for these guys. So yeah, I think this is going to be the point where it all kicks off, if it's going to.
Yeah, final straight for them. Of course, there is that run up to the hill and then down from the hill, but I don't really trust those as overtaking spots. I do not think there's not gonna be any action happening here. No one was really close enough to send it on anyone, unless maybe one of them was Zelch, then probably go for it, but neither of them is, so not happening. And the leaders are still super close. We are coming up to the last theoretical overtaking spots that I just discredited a moment earlier. With the final send, maybe I am very doubtful now. He's too far away. This is going to be a Veldman win, I'm pretty sure, the second of the season. And a fast forward racing 1-2. I do not know how many of those we had. The last one was definitely Spain of season 9 with the exact same... Yeah, no wait, with the other way around. But yeah, it is that, and Nico Veldman has fought brilliantly today. He has defended basically the entirety of the race. Might not have been the fastest in a nutshell, but he deservedly wins ahead of his teammate Dominic Illinger. They have a massive gap to Bunce, who is going to win silver class, ahead of a fighting bunch there with Ruben able to save himself, and it is gonna be a first Vance podium since what I believe is season 3 or season 2, but it has happened after all of that time. No, season 2 was his last podium, and it is 3rd place. That is amazing for him. We've got Louis Zelch in 4th after the unfortunate mistake. Then Chumley, yeah, unfortunately punted around there by the P7 finisher. Ruben saves himself into P6, and Diakowski has headed to the pit lane as he's probably a little bit upset with himself. Then we've got Niels Kruger second in class. Not a match for Banz today, but you know, but plenty of pro drivers weren't either. Vito P9, you know, he's gonna have well, he's not gonna be happy about this, but it is at least a finish. He did get taken out at one point, but he persevered through and gets a top 10, so that is nice for him. Chris Strecker, P10, last one of those spots. Visser recovers to P11. Ben Lewis, 3rd in class, P12 overall, and then lapped Travis, Vanoa, Moulton, Mills, and whoever just disconnected. I think it was Dvorak. And that was the race.
Yeah, that was quite an action-packed one, actually. Yeah, congrats, of course, to he held on really quite well from his teammate Illigna, who, of course, had him on the entire race. Almost no laps for rest for him, so keeping it clean and consistent is not easy across the hour with that much pressure, and I mean compared to the rest of the grid especially, I think was kind of packed with mistakes actually. Yeah, he's done a very good job.
I feel like I'm about to TOS. Wait, where's... Oh no. Wait a second. Where are they? I'm actually... go on. I'm done. Timo, check out the roof. It says on this. Please don't be weird. What is going on? Oh! You fools! I have downloaded the livery pack, but I did not overwrite them. So you probably made a change and it's not there because I didn't overwrite the files. I'm sorry. Oh no. Well, we'll see what it says on the roof next week, I guess. That was a letdown. I'm sorry for that. But yeah. I think that concludes it. I've my COVID, well, how do you say? My COVID has had enough of me speaking and wants me to shut up. So I'm gonna oblige and do exactly that. Hope that I'm back in full force next week. It's been a pleasure to do this commentary, especially because I think you made it pretty easy for me. So thanks for that. And we will see you next week.